So after selling my home in Carlsbad, after it almost doubled back in 2003, 2004, my wife and I went to Florida to become real estate investors. Now, eventually, we got smushed. We had four houses. We lost all the money we went there with. First of all, we lost the equity. At one point, we're up close to $1 million on an offer that we didn't accept. I'm not going to go into that. Just stirs up wounds. And we proceeded to lose all our equity. And eventually, we had to go to the table with about $70,000 to get out of there free and clear. Now, I'm a real estate attorney. I came back and I did tons of short sales. I helped people use the laws to their advantage. There were no anti-deficiency laws in Florida. I just wanted to be done with the place. I was getting an ulcer. I was getting plantar fasciitis in my feet. When you're losing $40,000 a month and it starts hitting your real money, it was painful. But while I was there, I learned a few lessons. I worked for an excellent brokerage and an excellent broker. I was also an attorney there, as I am here. But I enjoyed the selling of homes, and sort of, I wouldn't call her my mentor. We didn't work that closely, but I tried to pick her brain as often as I could. And she once said, what does it take to sell a home? Oh, I don't know. Could be nothing, could be everything. That was her realtor speak and that was her job, to explain all this stuff to realtors. It was about the pricing pyramid, where the strongest buyers come, and the probabilities. Nobody really knows ahead of time which buyer is going to turn out to be the most motivated buyer, which buyer is going to be the person that could do the very best job in buying your home. But is the selling realtor's job, the first part of the job, or your job if you're selling your home on your own, to get that information out there? Now, the MLS used to be needed for that. People also relied on their brokers for the availability, for pricing, for all these things that made good realtors very, very, very valuable. Now, the internet and technology is taking away many of those jobs of realtors. In fact, prices are so good now that we're not even using realtors to negotiate well. And we'll get more into that into the training at the end of this day, in the next section of this video. Okay, so the first job is to put out the probabilities there. Now, I don't know whether you need to be on the MLS and offer 2.5, 3, or 4% to buyers realtors ahead of time to sell your market, whether it's an up market or a down market. As the market gets weaker, or your house gets more special, harder the price, fantastic views, better than the neighbors, whatever it is, as your house gets away from a pricing understanding, as your house has fewer and fewer competition, particularly from above, the need to pay buyers agents to get a fantastic top dollar price goes up. I don't know where you are in that spectrum ahead of time, but I can tell you only a small percentage of homes, probably less than 1% in a seller's market, need to pay buyers agents full commissions to bring buyers to the table. The majority of the reason, in my opinion, whether it's the discount brokers or listing agents, tell you need to pay 2.5 or 3% to the buyer side in the MLS, I believe it's because they want a double-sided transaction. Good realtors with good systems, with good marketing, are hoping to double-side 25% or more of those transactions. So they make money, pretty good money, just listing a home, and if they double-side it, it is fantastic. It's what makes the realtors, some of the top ones, tons of money. I was super happy when I started double-siding. You're doing almost the same work, just a marginal amount more, plus you get to talk to people. You talk to the buyer, but it's only a marginal amount of more work, plus you have staff and transaction coordinates taking care of most of it. You've already got in place your inspectors and everything. It was just fantastic double-siding. That's what all these brokers in the market are trying to do, except one, and we'll get to that in the next section. So when you're talking listing side versus buying side, let's look at it from your standpoint as a seller. Let's say a 6% listing. Now, it could be 5, it could be 4. 3% traditionally would go to the listing agent, 3% to the buyer's agent. I suggest if you really need buyer's agents, you actually offer them more. So I would rather see a 2 and 4 model, especially for luxury homes. I'd rather see 2 and 4. I'd rather see the buyer's agent, the listing agent go to the caravan, the pitch meeting, and say, hey, we're offering an X percent for the next 30 to 60 days. Bring your motivated buyers. We're not going to negotiate your commissions with you. This is like you're going to be a listing agent. You should bring your best people to this. My clients love buyer's agents. This is what we discuss. This is what we want to do. Fantastic way to sell for super crazy top dollar, which is only available when it's very hard to price a home. If there's already competition for it, you already know where your limits are. If your buyers also need lenders, and you know where the fair market value is, because that's what you're developing before you even go on the market, you may not need that strategy. I don't know ahead of time. That's why the third step of my suggested best method strategy is to reserve the right. Always, you can get out of any contract you make with any discounter, any agent, after maybe 30 days, maybe less, maybe 24-hour notice with top agents, and you just go to the full service, full offer, maybe even more than full offers to buyer's agent model, traditional model, and then on steroids. You really want to motivate buyer's agents. If you're going on the MLS, really motivate the buyer's agents to sell your home. That's what you're using it for. Don't cheat them on the commission. Either it's a binary choice for me, for most people. It's either pay them $200, offer $200 on the MLS, or don't even be on the MLS, or compensate them more than is customary and market to the realtors. Have caravan meetings, have pitch sections, target realtors on Facebook about this opportunity to sell your home. Okay, so I hope I hit that last method hard enough, and the need to never sign more than a 30-day listing contract. I like 24-hour periods because the market can be changing, especially if it's in the fall, especially for the next months until really the 2020 elections. The market's going to be up and down. We're going to be competing waves. We don't know how long a bull market in houses will last, how long a bear market in houses will last. Everything, the cycles are all moving quickly. It's going up and down. You need maximum flexibility for the next, a year and a half? Okay, now, that leaves us with the next sections. If you're not paying buyers realtors, how should you sell your home? Well, if you're in Southern California, I can take care of the pre-market part of this, and we can break it down just into one part. If you work with me directly, and I'm not saying you should, because I prefer to just refer your properties out to agents in the area, but there is a secret bonus if you're working with me. I can take any model, and I could also put it on the MLS and offer $100 or $200, because I have no ties to a brokerage. I don't have, the MLS people are not doing a good job for realtors. I have other videos on that. I don't have any allegiance to the MLS anymore because they're losing the entire market. It's getting fragmented. They're putting our data out all over. They're making it confusing. We get calls, people don't even know what the price is. Zillow and Realtor.com are taking our intellectual property and selling it back to us because we're not being represented well by our MLSs, because they're not. They're in the interest of serving a few people, not really every realtor, in my opinion. So I am happy to take the best models, let's say a Rex model but better, which was a model that I've been talking about for years anyway in older videos. You can see them. And we'll put your home on the MLS for $200. So what I would suggest to everybody, whether you're working with an agent or not, is the following. Facebook marketing to a targeted audience for people who are interested in loans, people who are going to Zillow, people who are going to Realtor.com, people who are going to Trulia, people who are acting like they're looking to buy a home in your area. And you make your home a great lead magnet. I've talked about how to do that in other videos. I particularly like having a round robin. We're going to be selling our home to the strongest bidder on Sunday evening marketing, where you set up an auction method with a non-binding bid and a non-binding offer. So the point of it is that the strongest buyer gets to negotiate with the seller for the final terms. That way, as a seller, you can reject the market, you can take your home off the market, you can go back on the market next week, you can go to the full service model I talked about in the first part of this video. So you make yourself a great lead magnet, you market on Facebook, you market to in-market audiences or keyword targeted words on Google search, and you do the same thing. Google videos right now are super great. And you can do this for $10 or $20 a day. You do it for 7 to 10 days. You'll have very good traffic to your open house. And if you do, you can expect strong offers and a good bidding competition. If there aren't enough people coming to your open house that weekend, then you probably don't have a good segment of the market, so you're less inclined to think that you got a top dollar offer at the end of the bidding competition. It's a very simple method. The psychology of it's great because you're gonna have a starting offer instead of a list price. List price constrain the final price. Too many buyers walk away when you try to get them much above the list price because they're like, why did these people list there? They don't know what they're doing. I'm a cash buyer, I'm a strong buyer, I'll go buy another home. So you remove yourself from the constraints of the idea of a list price, and you have a non-binding auction. It's fantastic. So basically we have 3 possibilities. We have sell your home on your own or with a listing agent, but don't pay buyer's agents and don't use the MLS. Okay, that's step 1. And you can just do that yourself. You can do that with me. You can do that. there's multiple ways. We can talk about that in our strategy session. My fees would range from $1,200 to help it out if you're doing some of the work to 1.5%. Right now, I'm going to bring it back to 3%, but right now in this video, because you're watching it, I'm going to do it at 1.5% max, and it's negotiable. Right now, the next thing is I personally would throw in. I would be offering, say, $100, maybe $200 on the MLS to agents, and there's a second part of that strategy. The question is, what if the agents say, I will make, you can net out my offer. So my clients will make an offer, and I'll bet our offer is 2.5%, 3% stronger. So I would like compensation if I do that. I don't see there's anything wrong with it, but it could be part of the 3-step. You could say no for the first week, yes to the second week, and then if it doesn't work, then you go on the MLS full service. So we can break a 2-step process in a 3-step process if you're working with me. If we're going to be working with another agent, if I'm going to refer you out somewhere else in California, I think we have to look at the pre-MLS situation where you're either going to do the work and I'll help remotely, or we'll find an agent that works with us in this method. And then finally, we can just refer your property out to a top agent and share the referral fee. So there's 3 steps to this. You can talk to me in a strategy session. Basically what I'm saying is, we can probably get you top dollar offers, and there's very strong indicators when that's going to happen. Again, it's going to be a well-attended multiple house. Man, our strategy work. You got a lot of people. If you got 10 or 15 people through your home, you're going to get offers, and then it's negotiating those offers well. That's what you need a great agent for anyway. So, or you can do it yourself, but you want to have a great transparent process. So that's the first part. Try to do it without the help of buyer's agents. The second part, maintain flexibility. We refer you out to a buyer's agent, listing agent, strong listing agent. We share a referral fee. That's a process in the nutshell. I can set you up in a strategy session to get this done even more. Thank you, John McConnin. I look forward to talking to you in our strategy session. Thanks, bye.